How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. We are now officially underway into the month of March, and I must say, I'm happier than I've been in a while. It's the weekend, and I'm officially going into a 2-week vacation. Working as a registered nurse, currently at the age of 25, and just having experienced a COVID-19 surge in the medical field, these last few months have been challenging to say the least, and very mentally draining. And being 25, I'm not too far removed from those college days, still reminiscing on having week-long breaks through winter or summer break sessions, waiting in between classes. Yup, the good old days, right? Less responsibilities, sure, but even when I really think about it, I don't think I'd want to go back in time and do all of that over again. This is all being said to pretty much summarize that I'm looking forward to living life with slightly less responsibilities over these next 2 weeks. And not thinking of or going to work is a big part of that I'm looking forward to. As when you're in the working stage of adulthood, you pretty much work until 3 things happen. You retire, unfortunately pass away, or when you go out on a scheduled vacation. So I'm excited. And if you're asking what am I doing as part of my vacation, well, this upcoming week I'll be in Cabo San Lucas. Not to brag. I wasn't sure if it'd actually work out, but here we are. The plane ride is a couple hours away and things are looking good for liftoff here pretty shortly. And I do plan to record some of this upcoming trip. I'm most curious to see what a tourist destination looks like, during these odd times. So I imagine others are as well. So stay tuned for next week's video, as I'll be happily sharing some hopefully cool footage of this upcoming trip with you all. But now, without getting too ahead of myself for this week's video topic, I figured right about now would be a good time to just share with all of you my financial goals looking ahead into my future that I have right now for myself, currently at the age of 25. Now, I imagine this will change with time, so I plan to update this every year as I age, just to see the difference in the maturation of my goals or frame of thinking. So, for example, the next time I update this video topic in particular, I'll be 26, then 27, 28, 29, and so on and so forth. So before I briefly break down my financial goals with you all, I do want to take the time to say thanks to those who are new here for the first time, or those who have joined the journey for a while now as subscribers. It's really neat to see, and it does mean a lot. We recently just crossed the 50 subs mark, which was an awesome milestone. So if you're new or not subscribed yet, do consider subscribing and liking the video. Like I continually say, this series or the journey of my YouTube channel, it won't be stopping anytime soon. And I'm greatly looking forward to it all. So as a reminder, my current plan with my dividend portfolio is to invest $500 into it every single week, bringing my overall monthly contribution to $2,000 a month. Now, I know this isn't a small amount, and I'm very fortunate to be in a position to go at this pace. But with this in the long term, I'm planning to hopefully, with time, compound interest, and consistency, to build up my way to at the least a $1 million portfolio by the time I retire. And as you see here on a drip calculator website, it doesn't look too unrealistic. I have pretty conservative numbers here overall. And by the looks of it, it looks like I can reach a $1 million portfolio by the age of 44 to 45, or after about, 19 to 20 years of investing at this pace. So it's definitely doable as long as I remain consistent. And if you're curious about this website, I'm not sponsored by it or anything, but I go to it all the time just to, look at my numbers, thinking of the future and whatnot. Just go on Google and type in drip calculator. And I believe it's the first link. You just click on it and it'll take you right here. You plug in your numbers and just play around. It's pretty neat. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I'm also wanting to retire by the age of 50, which for me is quite conservative. I started working for the state of California at the age of 24. I'm 25 now, so therefore after 26 years of hopeful employment for the state, I'll be retired at 50, with a pension attached to the hard work and loyalty that I've put in, or that I plan to put in. But like I've said, I can't control my pension, but I'm placing a decent sized bet there. In the short term, I also plan to have a $40,000 dividend portfolio by the end of this year. I've already made a video about this, and if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. So in addition to my long-term and short-term goals for my dividend portfolio, plans to retire at the age of 50, and hopeful for a pension from the state of California, I also want to save up for real estate for rental properties. By the time I retire, I plan to hold at least 2 rental properties, or partially own a house I pay a mortgage on, and have an additional house I utilize as a rental property. This, I predict, will be my toughest goal to achieve, as I'm already pushing so much into my dividend portfolio each month that my savings pace for a home is quite stunted at the moment. But this is a choice I've made. I currently live with my long-term girlfriend and our small 1-year-old pup. We don't have kids, and we have the same mindset on currently living together without a rush to be married. We have no current rush to buy a home and settle down. And to be honest, renting gives us a lot of freedom. That really helps us at the moment. We can technically pick up and move anywhere a lot easier if we wanted to. So we'll see how it all plays out. But that is it. I'll be curious to see how this plan changes with time, but I'm excited to check back in a year and see what's changed or what hasn't. Now, to wrap up this video, let's go ahead and check out the performance of the dividend portfolio this past week. So here we are in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, currently sitting at $18,971. Most people might say $19,000. We're pretty much there, almost at the 20K mark, about 1,000 short, and I anticipate getting there fairly soon, as long as the markets don't continually change paths on us like they have been recently. If you checked out my last week's video, I was pretty much showing you that I did deposit my $500, but it was pretty much wiped out. And this last week, it was actually a fairly odd week. It looked like it wasn't going to be a great week, and then Friday came today, and everything switched, and it turned out to be a great week. So, pretty interesting. This was pretty much last week. We plateaued, but technically we were going down. If it wasn't for my deposit, you would see a dip here. If I show you in the day, which is Friday, the last day of the week, we were at $400, up 2%. So like I was saying, the week itself didn't go fairly well, but on Friday, which was my actual day of my deposit, it also happened to be the biggest day of returns. The market went really great. My portfolio tends to mirror the Dow Jones. I think that's a good thing, and I'm okay with that. And here we are in the month view, a return of $325, a return of 1.8%. But yes, if it wasn't for Friday, if it wasn't for the last day of the week, I would probably be sitting at $18,500. But it was that $400 gain. It pushed us close to 19K. Now going into the activity for the week, as I was saying, in opposition to the 2 weeks prior, this last week we got paid dividends, and by quite a bit of companies. In summary, with all of them combined, I believe it was close to $11, or it crossed $11. So here it is, March 1st. We got paid by Aflac, $2.90. J.M. Smucker, $2.76. Southwest Gas Holdings, $2.09. And then Visa, 48 cents. On March 2nd, we got paid by American Water Works, 66 cents. And also on March 2nd, we got paid by ADM, $2.56. If I was to show you guys early on in this portfolio, we would not be in the dollar ranges in terms of dividend payouts. We were in pennies, and those pennies alone made me quite happy back then. So now to see that transition into actual dollars every time I'm getting paid dividends, it's a sight to see. And it's definitely something that, it feels good. It's passive income. It's investing into companies that pay you back. And when I think of investing, that's the picture that I think of. And here we are on March 5th with our deposit of $500, staying systematic, staying disciplined, being fortunate enough to go at this pace. And here's the snowball action, way bigger than it was the 2 weeks prior, of $510.68. So a $10 snowball compared to a $1 snowball. The market was great this week. We had a great size snowball, and there's definitely no complaints for me this week. It's a double win. And it won't always be like this, but I'll take it when it comes. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's video, guys. I hope you guys had a good last week. My past week was good. I'm heading into a 2-week vacation, and I have no complaints at all. I'm looking forward to living life with less responsibilities. It's a little taste of retirement every time that happens, so it's pretty neat. But like I said, stay tuned for next week's video. I plan to show some footage of the time in Cabo San Lucas, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like down there. It'll be nice to not be in America for a little while. So with that being said, guys, stay safe out there, and I will see you guys on next week's video. And until then, peace.